When the US President Barack Obama visited India in November 2010, he could have been forgiven for thinking that he had landed in a republic of women. The President of India, Pratibha Patil, the Speaker of the Lok Sabha, Meera Kumar, the President of the ruling Congress Party, Sonia Gandhi, the Leader of the Opposition, Sushma Swaraj, with all of whom he interacted, were all powerful, impressive women. And of course, I was the ambassador accompanying him. Of course, Prime Minister Dr. Manmohan Singh and Vice President Hamid Ansari helped to restore the gender balance. Yet, these women at the top, all these impressive women, are only half the story. For the paradox is that though India was amongst the first countries to have a woman prime minister as far back as in the 1960s, this does not reflect the reality of the overwhelming majority of Indian women who continue to face enormous challenges. Our forefathers at the time of independence, our leaders, were far-sighted and visionary in their approach. They realized that freedom meant not only freedom from colonial rule, but freedom from the entrenched injustices within. The Constitution that we adopted in 1950 was forward-leaning. It provided for fundamental rights for all and for non-discrimination on grounds of caste, creed, or sex. The gender-related laws that have developed since our independence have created a framework which enables women, if they are in a position to transcend their traditional roles, to aspire to be the best in any field. And this perhaps explains the paradox of no limits to achievement for some, while the narrow boundaries of tradition continue to constrain the many. There have been very notable examples of women who have achieved the best in every sphere. Yet, these exceptional women are really exceptions, because the vast majority of women do not share in that. They continue to be constrained by their circumstances. The government in India has been an equal opportunities employer. Women have been able to join all services, though, of course, gender-related biases have crept in the process. For instance, C.V. Muthamma, the first woman who joined the Indian Foreign Service, was asked by her interview board how she was going to manage her career if she got married. Being a feisty lady, she turned around and told the board, "This is none of your business, how I handle my private life." Of course, the interview board down-marked her, but couldn't keep her out because her marks were so good. However, women joining the Foreign Service for many years had to give an undertaking that they would resign if at any stage their personal lives came in the way of their careers. I too had to give such an undertaking when I joined the service. And of course, when the Supreme Court finally struck this down, it transpired that this regulation had remained on the books despite 3 prime ministers having ordered that it should be removed. The explanation was clerical oversight. But things are changing today. We see that even services which were hitherto barred for women, such as the police and the armed forces, are gradually opening up. We also see that women are eagerly grasping opportunities whenever a door opens. For instance, if you take the example of Mary Kom, the 5-time world boxing champion and a mother of 2, who recently won a medal at the London Olympics. She showed the true grit and determination to rise to the very top in what was till then considered a male sport. Or take Indrani Singh, the first Asian woman pilot to pilot an Airbus 300. Or take Bachendri Pal, the first Indian woman to climb Mount Everest, and also the first Indian woman from her village to complete her graduation. Or take Ela Bhatt, the Gandhian, who has organized hundreds and thousands of often illiterate women in the Self-Employed Women's Association. Now, these are not women of privilege. They have overcome enormous odds to be where they are. And in doing so, they have opened a door for others, because these are not exceptional women in the privileges that they enjoy or in the benefits that they have been heir to from their birth. And if you look at the recent demonstrations, the mobilization of women in the wake of the shocking incident of rape which occurred in Delhi recently, I think it is a sign of hope, because women came out to demand and push for change. Clearly, the transformation of India will not be complete unless women are empowered and enabled as full and equal citizens of our country, till they are free from fear and intimidation, till they are educated and healthy, till they can stand on their own feet and are employed, till their domestic work is given value. And this is something which India has to carry forward. It is part of the very exciting but difficult social and economic transformations which we have embarked upon as a country since independence. So what is the way forward? I would like to suggest some very broad parameters. Of course, there are many more details which could be gone into, but broadly, if we look at it, then if we take certain steps, we should be on our way to achieving this. Firstly, I would say education, education, and more education. Though women have made enormous strides in literacy in the last decade, it's now over 64%, and the gains in the last decade have been 49%. Too many girls still drop out of school and don't finish their schooling. So we need targeted incentives and scholarship schemes to ensure that girls finish school and have the opportunity to go on to either university or vocational training. And of course, we need very simple infrastructure like separate girls' toilets in schools. And very important, we also need to teach boys the joys of cooking and dance, and girls the joys of science and machine tools to break gender stereotyping. Secondly, I think improving and increasing employment and other economic avenues for women, because economic independence is the key to a dignified life. And in this, sustaining an economic growth rate which is high will be very important, because achieving this objective will be possible only if the Indian economy itself remains buoyant. So maintaining economic momentum and accelerating it should be an essential national goal and one which we must pursue. Thirdly, I would say gender sensitization of all instruments of governance, including especially the police and the courts, that is, the criminal justice system, so that we see a proper implementation of laws. And of course, this gender sensitization must also embrace the media and the entertainment industry, which shapes the image which we have of women as a group, and which can either debase or lift this image up. Finally, I would say increased political participation, particularly at the national and state levels, because though over 1 million women have been brought into public office, with the 33% reservations in the panchayats or village councils and the local bodies in the cities, the reservation bill for women for the parliament and the state assemblies continues to languish in a conspiracy of silence. All political parties must commit to fielding at least 1/3 of their candidates as women. This is something that women must demand, pursue, and get. There are many other things which we could do, but I think broadly, if we are able to do this, we will be able to move the agenda along. I know that the journey before us is not easy, that it will be difficult and there will be twists and turns. But I am optimistic when I see the strength and hope in the words of a small student, a young student of Amitasha, which is a school for underprivileged girls, who says, in the surrounding darkness, I saw a dream. I scaled the heights. I reached up to the sky. I tried to fly. Let us ensure that every girl can achieve their dream, can reach up to the sky, can actually fly. And it is then that India's story will be complete.